In a kingdom, there was a king who would have the barber killed every time after getting a haircut. Getting a haircut in his palace was like going straight into the arms of death. Every time after a haircut, the king would say, "Go and take your reward from the chest." And as soon as the innocent barber opened the chest, the king would push him into a deep pit. The pit was so deep that no one had ever returned from there. Slowly, this news spread to every village and town. Whoever went to the palace as a barber never returned. Then one day, the king needed a haircut again. Soldiers went out to the villages, and this time, fate knocked on the door of an innocent boy. Seeing this, the old mother's heart trembled, but the king's command could not be ignored. Before leaving, the mother made 3 rotis with trembling hands and said, "Eat them if you feel hungry on the way, my son." And then the boy headed towards the palace where death awaited him in the form of a reward. Upon reaching the palace, he went straight to the king. The soldiers left. The king removed the hat he had hidden on his head for centuries. The boy's eyes were wide open. A large, frightening horn was protruding from the king's head, but to save his life, he suppressed his fear and started cutting the hair. The king was very pleased with his new haircut. He performed the same old act. "Go, take 10,000 gold coins from the chest." As soon as the boy went to the chest, the king pushed him from behind. But the story didn't end there. That chest was actually a deep pit. Below, a fast dark river was flowing. The king thought the boy had died, but fate had something else in store. Somehow the boy survived, and when he looked around, there were thousands of barber's bones lying there. Just then, a 1,000-year-old python emerged from beneath the bones. Out of fear, the boy immediately played his flute. The melody calmed the dragon. Then the boy fed it a piece of bread, and the dragon helped him out of there. But the troubles were not over yet. As soon as he reached the forest, a hungry wolf pounced on him. The boy immediately climbed a tree. The wolf waited below. He took out the same flute again. The music calmed the wolf too. The boy fed it the second piece of bread. The wolf became a friend and carried him on its back across the forest. On the way, they found a house by a lake. The boy thought he would rest for a night, but there lived a terrible witch who killed and ate humans. The witch transformed herself into a middle-aged woman and invited the boy inside. As soon as he began to relax, the witch revealed her true form and started preparing to fry him in hot oil. The boy said, "Play the flute one last time before dying." The witch also liked music, and she gave him the flute. As soon as she got lost in the tune, the boy quietly started to run away, but he was caught. He gave the last piece of bread to the witch. After eating the bread, the witch felt pity for his story. She gave the boy a magical jacket, which would make him old when worn normally and young when worn inside out. Now the boy was ready to take revenge on the king. He put on the jacket and turned himself into an old barber and reached the palace. The soldiers did not suspect anything. Then the same thing was repeated. The king's hair was cut. The king was pleased and said, "Go take the reward yourself from the chest this time." The boy said, "Oh, there's a lot of gold in this." The king came running to see for himself, and as soon as he peeked into the chest, the boy pushed him from behind. The king fell into the pit. As he was falling, he grabbed the boy's beard, but the boy quickly took off the jacket and the beard disappeared. The king was swallowed by the depths, and in that darkness, the dragon was waiting for him. The king's end had come. By the time the soldiers arrived, the boy had disappeared from there. Now he wore the jacket inside out, and once again, as an innocent child, he left the palace and returned to his village. When his mother saw him alive, she thanked God with tears flowing from her eyes, and no one ever found out how the king suddenly disappeared in one night.